and say a big thank you to you for what you have done and what we are seeing this afternoon. Thank you very much. Again, I want to have different phrases here. I don't know the description to give. So I will say a big thank you to everybody present here, including my team. This afternoon, I've been charged to speak on entrepreneurship and leadership. First of all, I want to talk about entrepreneurship before I go to the leadership. One will ask, who is an entrepreneur? Entrepreneur is an individual who takes risk to create businesses and also enjoy the rewards. Simple put. But if we talk about entrepreneurship, I know you are all educated in the classrooms, which I want to do justice to it, so that you become informed with what you have learned in school and what you are going to be confronted with as an entrepreneur when you come out of college. First, I'll use myself as an enemy. I will share my personal experience with you, for you to know that entrepreneurs are not born, but they are made. Entrepreneurs are made, they are not born. So those of you who take consolation and say that, oh, entrepreneurs are born and therefore if I'm not an entrepreneur, I'm not capable of doing it, it is not true. Entrepreneurs are made, and you can emulate it from successful people, and through that, you can also call yourself an entrepreneur when you begin to establish businesses. Now, we have 7 qualities of an entrepreneur. First, I want the students to write it down. First, you need to have the vision that I'm not going to work for an organization for the rest of my life, but I want to also employ people. When you have that vision, it means you are preparing yourself to become an entrepreneur, the one who will create businesses and opportunities for others also to enjoy. And this vision, those who have the vision is those who think of the future. They are not complacent of today, but rather think of tomorrow, what they are going to do. When we have such people believing in the future, then you can say that they have a vision. It is not only the vision. You need to be courageous. You need to take bold decisions. That is what we call in economics risk. You have to take risk. Why it is necessary to take risk is that all of us have dreams to be somebody in future. But the courage to take your destiny into your own hands, if you are not a risk taker, you cannot be an entrepreneur. So to be an entrepreneur, you have to take risk. And do not be a security seeker. You should be a risk taker and not a security seeker. What do I mean by a security seeker? Assuming you have 50,000 cedis and you want to go into business, you'll be contemplating, hey, if I go into this or I invest my 50,000 and I lose, what will happen to me? if I do this, I put the money in, what will be the outcome? What will be my fate? When you begin to talk like that, then you're a security seeker. You are only protecting what you have. But you need to be a risk taker and take the risk. That is why there's difference between those who take risk and those who always want to work for somebody. The one who works for somebody is not a risk taker, and therefore he's not an entrepreneur. Sometimes people misconstrue CEOs to be entrepreneurs and entrepreneurs to be CEOs. There are sharp differences. Entrepreneur is the one who creates the business and employ the chief executive to be a manager and manage the business. So they can be the most educated people, sit at home waiting for somebody to create, for them also to manage. They are all good, but there's a difference. An entrepreneur and a CEO who manages the business. He is a manager. Again, even in business, an entrepreneur is the one who creates. Because when you say a businessman is when I have manufactured this. He comes with his ingenuity to buy from me, then go and sell. He's not the one who created this. So there's also a difference. So you always see that an entrepreneur is the one who takes the risk, mostly bold decisions to create businesses for others also to get jobs and enjoy. Now, how do we become entrepreneurs? Start from here. What you have to do with the 1,000 cedis a semester is that you make sure you save at least 50% of the 1,000 cedis, which is 500. Live a subsistent living for tomorrow. You live a subsistent living today for tomorrow. What I mean is, you could have spent the 1,000 cedis this semester, but if you save 500 out of the 1,000 cedis, you've raised a capital of 500 cedis. Although in your standard, you might think it is not good enough, but I want to assure you, it's good enough because that's the beginning of savings. When you save this continuously, you can compare yourself with your colleague who spends his 1,000 cedis every semester. He comes up with 0 in his account, whereas in 3 semesters, you have 1,500 cedis. That's the beginning of raising capital to start a business. Especially, I see some of the young ladies, when they raise this capital, then they begin to buy hair products, hair piece, and be selling them. That is the beginning of entrepreneurship. You build on it, and as time goes on, you see that you have raised enough capital to expand the businesses. You are better off than the one who will keep up the Joneses and say that, oh, John has bought this shoe, a designer shoe, I'm also going to get it. So you spend your last peso to buy a shoe. Whereas you could have saved that money for unknown tomorrow. So to raise capital, you need savings. You should have the power to save every money that comes to you. When you have saved enough capital, or when you have saved enough to use it as capital, then comes what you will think to do with the money. What business am I going to do? You'll be combing around to check and see which business will help you, or you're going to make money out of it. So you need to do right investment. And the capital, even in the Bible, what I always say is that it says, seek ye first the kingdom of heaven, and all things shall be added unto thee. On earth, seek ye first capital, and the rest shall follow. When you have accumulated enough capital and established a business, a day will come that when you are spending, you don't even feel it because you have enough. Whereas those of your mates who spent their last resort to buy clothes, to buy shoes, to buy whatever they wanted at that time, you will see the difference, that it will come to a point that you will employ your own classmate to be working for you. So the power of savings, wise investment, will be your trump card over all your colleagues. When you have invested all these monies, you need to work hard. If not, you're going to lose everything that you have saved. Working hard simply means we are here. We are all working at Central University. The Central University, we all make 8 hours, 100 cedis. Hypothetically, 100 cedis for 8 hours. And the administration says, look, you can do extra 4 hours and we'll give you 50 cedis. Some colleagues will say that, oh, 100 cedis is enough. So let me go home and rest after 8 hours. Those who will take the 4 hours extra makes more money than the one who took only 8 hours, because the extra income comes from the extra hours that you put in. So 2 of you who will have the highest purchasing power, the one who works more hours and make more money, obviously will have bigger or higher purchasing power than the one who worked for 8 hours. You establish a business. People keep asking me. This morning when I was coming, a friend of mine asked me, "Why are you sleeping?" I said, "How? I'm on my way to airport. From there, I'm going to campaign office." And he said, in Tree, "Hey, Obreu." It will become 7 o'clock. I'm almost there. Going to do 1 or 3 things before we come home. You have to work hard. You don't have to be complacent with whatever situation you are in and think you are content with it. In business, you have to be greedy. You have to be greedy and work for more money. And don't be complacent that, oh, my 8 hours is enough for me to rest. Such people who believe in the 8 hours will not be the same as people who believe in 12 hours. 12 hours obviously will make more money than the 8 hours. So you have to work hard. After working hard, what else? Every diligence of you becoming an entrepreneur, the key to success is honesty. I did, because when you are doing entrepreneurship, you don't get it in the classroom teachings that the lecturers give. Honesty is key to success. Why I say this is that I have a company that produces plastics, like the water bottles, and the suppliers give credit for 120 days. One of the suppliers came to Ghana to meet me And when he was coming, he has read about my profile and everything. He came to me and said, Honorable, I want you to help me retrieve my $70,000 from a gentleman. Why? Well, the guy took materials worth $70,000 and never paid for 2 years. Do you think such a man will succeed in business? Because in the same industry, they know each other. So when your name goes to company A, it tells company B. By the time you realize you are cut off and you are not going to get production materials anymore. So honesty is key to success. Everything that you do. If you have agreement with a company, a friend, anybody that you have agreement with, that when this business is done, you have about 50 cedis profit and I'm going to give it to you. Make sure you honor that. If you honor that, he'll give you more money or invest more money. And next time, you give him 100 and you will make double out of it. But whatever is given to you, if you are dishonest and you keep the money, I'm afraid no business will be dealing with you anymore. And by the time you realize, your business has collapsed. So honesty, not only in business, every endeavor, honesty is key to success. If you are not honest, you will definitely not succeed in life. But with all this side of Africa, we have challenges as entrepreneurs or businessmen who aspire to the greater heights, have challenges. What are some of the challenges? The challenges, one, is our own attitude towards work. Our attitude towards work. I'm sorry, I have to speak the truth. Most of us, or many of us, our attitude towards work is horrible. Why do I say this? I'm sorry, I have to tell you the truth again. Today, we were ready to get to Central University at 10. That is why I got to my campaign office at 7. When we were ready to set off, we had a call that we have to wait because the school is not ready. I have to tell you the truth. Such things do not help productivity, time management. This side of the world, we don't manage our time. And because of our attitude, that when you are invited to a party and they say 10 o'clock, Ghana time, it is only Ghana that they have a different time. When it's 10 o'clock, it's 12. Such attitudes do not help businesses. That is why, in terms of businesses, Africans are considered underdogs. So if you want to succeed in life and be a different businessman or entrepreneur, change your attitude. If 7 is 7, if you know 7, you are not going to make it like you did. Again, I praise you for that. At least you drew our attention that the 10 o'clock is not possible. Then we know that this is what we have to do. Anybody who manages his time, anybody who has a positive attitude will definitely succeed in life than those who don't have positive attitude and they do things the way they want. That's the challenge we have here as an entrepreneur. Then also, you are doing business, but our competitors who are foreigners always knock us out of business, we the locals or the citizens. Why? They have access to capital. access to capital. If you are going for a loan to expand your business, the hassle you go through even to get capital to expand the business is not easy. You go through hell. Before the bank will believe you, you have to strip naked for them to know the kind of underwear that you are wearing before they accept your proposals. Even when you have been accepted to get the loan, which I advise each and everybody here, I'm not trying to destroy banks, but I'm trying to guide you how to protect your business and interests. Try as much as you can to refrain from loans. Loans. We have ridiculous rates in this country, hovering between 30 to 35%. Whereas our competitors coming from China, India, Lebanon, UK, wherever they're coming from, come with a loan with interest between 3 to 5%. How are we going to compete with them? That is why you see that Ghanaian entrepreneurs are only doing the small scale businesses. And the large scale businesses you find in this country are owned by foreigners because they get cheaper loans, come in and invest, and their cost of production is cheaper than us because of high interest rate that we do. So one of the challenges is the loan that we take is so expensive that it's not been easy for anybody. Again, another problem we have in this country is culture. Our culture impedes progress. And if you have the same culture in your organization, it impedes the progress of the organization. Why? Here in Ghana, if somebody steals from my company and I fire him, you have Reverend Minister coming to beg, politicians like my colleagues calling me, you have your relatives, your uncle, your father, your grandfather, all of them coming to you to plead with you. Meanwhile, elsewhere in the developed countries, when you are fired, you are fired. Nobody comes to beg for you. Then again, here, when you are fired, you can go to your mother's house, can go to your father's house, and at least you will eat. In the developed countries, you have to pay your rent. Even if you are staying with your mother, you pay rent. You have to buy food. You have to take care of yourself. And if you lose your job, there is no pastor coming to beg. There is no uncle coming to beg. There is no politician coming to beg. That is why the systems are working elsewhere and it is not working here. So if you want to succeed, I tell you the truth, even your own family, don't employ them. Let them stay home. Don't employ your own family. Let them stay home. When you make the money, you take good care of them. That person, oh, Uncle Ken, well, you're nice. You get my colleagues coming to beg. These are some of the disadvantages of Ghanaian entrepreneurs. So if you want to succeed, stay away from all these things and you'll be exceptional entrepreneur. If not, whatever you've learned in books will not be applicable because of the mindset of the people. So young men and women here, I want you to take your destiny into your own hands and challenge yourself that if Agyapong has done it, I can also do it. I was born and bred in a poor home, a village. Now there was no electricity, no water. The only chance I got to come to Accra was when I was in secondary school, Form 3 at Southern College. And every vacation I was walking on the street, selling. Yes, pick a chocolate, announce it, yes, raw. Yes, pick a chocolate, announce it, yes, raw. Today, I have over 7,000 workers, and this year, I added 350,000. So use me as your role model and emulate whatever I have done. Study it and challenge yourself that if Agyapong, you are fortunate to be in the university at the age of 22, 23. I went to Fordham University at the age of 33. After hawking on the street, washing plates in Germany, driving taxi, and working at the bakery in America, I decided to go to university. And here we are today. So say to yourself, if Agyapong has done it, I can do it too.
I can do it.